Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's live trading, and I hope you're very well. A bit late to the party today, in that it is 8:15 a.m. I've only just got this all up and running. So what I'm seeing at the moment is the potential for maybe a bit of a rundown on the euro. It's overall a bit choppy, but I think I can get in with a low risk sort of entry, and so I'm just looking at what's going on here. We've got a little bit of negative momentum in the background and on the hourly charts, and we've got some untested support levels below us. So I'm going to actually attempt a short trade. I'll put 3 units in, and so I've just put 3 lots in, and I'll attempt a short trade with the first target actually being at 114. I'm going to just put my stop in a second up here, so let's quickly get these in, because it's moving quite quickly here at the moment. So I'll get these stops in place. First target's going to be down at 114, and then and that's like the 8 a.m. pivot, but I'm going to try and hold on to it and see if we can get a little bit more, if it can go a bit lower than that. So but I've got that first target there. So first and foremost, let's get these stops in place. So actually I need to be able to see these levels. 114.20. Okay, I'll put it in at 114.20. 114.20, and then the same again on this one. Okay, so I've got the stops in place. First target's down at 114, and really it could take a long time today, but I'm looking at the hourly 50 as a target level. The hourly 50 is down at 113.64 currently, so it's got a bit of a way to run, but we'll just have to see. So and obviously I don't even know if this is actually even going to get down at all. That's why I've only put 3 lots in, because it's a little bit of a mismatch if we look at the higher time frames. So the trend obviously overall is up, and so that's why I've just put the 3 lots in this morning. So we'll see. I'll press pause for now. Right, just back, and interestingly, we've actually just come down, as you can see, right onto 114. I was making a cup of tea, and obviously it's not, by the time you take the spread into account, it's not quite hit it. So it's got very, very close. It's actually the level I was looking for, which is the 8 a.m. pivot, has actually been hit on the charts. So my support levels have actually been struck for that first target. So if we can get just a little bit closer towards it, I'll override this and close out. But I would rather close out if we can get just a little bit closer towards it. But it has hit that double support level there, which was the 8 a.m. pivot and this 5-minute 50. So it's just a case of if we can get down a little bit closer towards it. So there we go. We're getting that bit closer. Okay. So it's 0.2 I've come out at over there. I've overridden that. Just because we have hit it on the charts and it didn't fill. So anyway, I've taken that 1 unit off, so it's sort of starting to pay for the trade a little bit. I'll move the stop down just a couple. Oh, now it comes down to there. Anyway, I'll move the stop down a couple of pips, and so we'll just do that. Oh, that's better. It's coming down a little bit now. So just having a look at it basically. Let's move that stop down, and we're getting, it's having a good little run there. So let's have a look here. I'm going to take another unit off. We'll come down to 5-minute 21. So yeah, I'll just take a second unit off actually. Trade's running reasonably well so far, and so now it's just a case of seeing if it can get down to, like I said, ultimately down to that 113.60 odd area, which is still quite a lot of work to do. And so we'll just play a waiting game now and see what happens. So I'll just press pause a second, but there's really nothing else to do. So we're looking at 60, like I say, around about 113.65, so about another 20 pips lower than where we currently are. So I'll just press pause. Okay, so it's come down to some more support here. I'm still looking for that 65, but I'm going to take half off. I'm not entirely trusting on where this is ultimately going to go, so I'm going to take half off here. So in order for me to take half, what I had to do is go long with 50,000. So effectively I've taken half off there by going along with 50,000. I can't actually close half my ticket, so what I'm doing is by going along with 50,000, it's like I've just taken half of this unit off. So bring that up. So there we go. You can see it now. Sorry. So here's, I'm short with a remainder of 100,000, but by going long, as you can see, it's bringing my net position to net short 50,000. That's how I've done that. So what I'll do, and by doing that, as we can see, as price goes up, then obviously my little long starts making money, even though my short is starting to lose some of its profits. My long is making some money. So what I need to do is put stops against that long. So the stops will be at 86, sorry, 60, 66, isn't it? 113, 66. And I need to then put a limit order in at 114, 14. That'll do. So then I've got my stop loss on my short at 114.14, and I've got my target on my long, if maybe on that small position if it was to go up. So I'm just trying to protect the trade here this morning, because I can see the potential for those levels to come in, but it's a bit messy, so I'm just keeping it fairly tight here today. And what I might do is, if we do come down lower to that hourly 50, I could actually release the hedge and put in another smaller, even a quarter position size, just so that I can effectively still run it for even more. There is the potential for us to come down to 113.50, which is another daily pivot, an S1 pivot, bit below it again. So if it starts to all line up, then maybe I could do that as well. So for now, I'll just press pause. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Kim and I went on a road trip to the Alps this past week, and so we went last Saturday and got back late Wednesday, and we had a great time. So I just thought I'd show you a couple of pictures. Actually, we've put a load up on Facebook, but it was quite funny because we set out on this road trip, so you can see there's a few of us. We set out with the intention to go and visit the Stelvio Pass in Italy. So this is where we were parked up at pretty much at the base, towards the base of the Stelvio Pass. We got out there as typical boys, in that we didn't check before we left that the Stelvio Pass is shut in the winter months, and even though we were into May, it was still shut and doesn't actually open until the 22nd of May. So we've gone all the way out there to drive the Stelvio Pass and didn't get to do it. And the Stelvio Pass, for those of you who don't know, is a very famous road. It's got a huge number of hairpin bends and it's spectacular scenery there. So we missed out on doing that. Having said that, and you can probably tell by my voice that I'm still catching up on the trip, so to speak, we still had a great time, and there was still lots of fantastic passes and mountain passes that we did get to experience anyway, so it wasn't the end of the world. But I must admit, my wife did find it rather amusing that we hadn't checked. Anyway, I thought I'd leave that, show you a little bit of that. If you want to see some more photographs, we've got them up on our Facebook page. Right, I'll press pause for now while we're waiting on this. See, this is why I ended up taking that extra unit off, because I could see we'd come down to some more support on the 15-30 minute charts, and the potential was that we were going to start bouncing, which is exactly what has happened. Hence why we've got that taken effectively half profits off. So it will affect the profitability. I've moved the stops down to 114.10, so up here. Obviously, it will affect the profitability if we do come back up to there, and that's the problem we've had today, is that the market itself, the euro dollar itself, has been fairly choppy, as we can see on the hourly chart. Really puts it into perspective. You can see the levels that I'm looking for down at this hourly 50, and I think probably ultimately it will get there, but it could chop around a lot first, and so I'm not willing to have to sit through all of that. So we'll see anyway. Hopefully it doesn't come up to my stops and it then rolls. This is just a bit of movement, and then we roll down again, but just demonstrating why I ended up having to bank a bit more profit off there. So I'm only in with a half lot trade right now. So whatever happens, obviously it'll be a profitable trade, but we'll give back a bit if it does come all the way back up to there. But I don't, at the same time, I don't want to move my stops down too much not just yet anyway. I could probably move them down another 5 pips now. I don't want to move them down too much, so I want to give it just enough room, so without crowding it. So if I can move it down a few more pips probably, but that'll have to do for now. So I'll press pause. Just back, and this should go from here now. It's reacted to the upper bands here, and it shouldn't really want to come down much lower. So I am actually going to start sucking that stop down a bit more aggressively now, move it down to about 1403 or something like that, because it should be wanting to pretty much remain suppressed. If it comes back up even really above these highs, it shouldn't really want to do that. I'll give it a little bit of slack just above 114, but I'm not going to give it much more than that. So I'll just move those stops down whilst on pause. Okay, just back, and we can see actually the charts back. So we indeed had that little bounce there, back up to 1400 or so, and it's reacted from there, but we still need to see this follow through. Still struggling a little bit to really break down here. I mean, you look at this is probably the best part of the last hour now, but anyway, we'll see. So what I can do though is move those stops a little bit more now, down to these highs, so I can finally sort of move that those down. So I've got them down at 03, so I can now move them down to the round number. Now we've put a pivot reversal in there, I can move those down. There we go. So the stops are down to 114 now, because if it comes back up to there again now, it's just means it's just chopping around, and so I don't really want to be in it if it's going to carry on messing around like that. So we'll see how it's going to develop. It'd be nice if it can get down to that final target, but we'll see for now. So I'll press pause. Okay, it looks like we're getting close here. You'll see these deals disappear. 66 looks like it's about to go. There it is. Just hit. So we've finally come down to that 66 level. So we've banked 610 there on that trade. Dollars this morning, or £385. I was talking about maybe taking a last one off, but I'd had all the orders sat in there, and I literally only just came back downstairs to see this as it's come down. So what has actually happened is it's come down to that hourly 50, which was that target there this morning. It's a shame that it was a little bit choppy this morning, so I couldn't quite justify not banking those profits along the way, because obviously ultimately we have got there anyway. But sometimes if it is a bit sloppy, it's best to take profits, because they don't always do this and come down to that target. They go sloppy, you get a little bit of profit out of it, then it comes back up, stops you out at break even, but it hasn't cost you anything. So that's the point there. So we're on to that support there. It could well want to run through to that 1350 pivot level, or maybe even yesterday's lows down at 113.41. But as a trader, what your job is to obviously try and be profitable as consistently as possible. And we talk about this in the trading room a lot. Once you've hit your targets, you have to ask yourself whether you need to trade again for that day. This is the challenge account, which is what I always trade on in the video updates. And this challenge account has essentially hit target. I have a daily target on this of between £200 and £400. As it currently stands on the challenge account. Now, I don't always hit those targets. For example, I've been away most of this week, and so you don't always. And even when you are around, some days you just have a losing day, or you just don't get anywhere close to target. But I have that as a rough zone to work towards, and if I get to that zone, then I have to make a decision whether I want to bother trading again for the day, or risk giving back some of that profit. And so it's likely, as it's a Friday, we haven't got much news out this afternoon. There's a little bit of news out later, but it's likely I'll probably just leave this account now for the day and say that'll do for it. Anyway, I'll leave that with you. It's been a little bit of a longer update, considering I've only done one trade. It's 14 minutes in, so I'll stop rabbiting on. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back in touch next week.